Okay, so we're going to start with the drift temper, the D-Class drift temper. Let's go. Okay, could I recommend this to you? Nah, I can't recommend this to you. It's not really good. Handling wise, it does look good, but I just don't like the way this thing performs. Okay, so before I forget, I'm not going to be uploading any videos or streaming tomorrow at all. Knowing that it's Christmas, I will not be doing it. Anyway, the Pegaso Infernus Classic, that's fine. Let's test it out for a ride. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say is that I would recommend buying this, but only because I like the old classic cars in the game back in the days of GTA, and I think this is kind of an oldie car. It's not a bad car, but yeah, I only would recommend it because it's a nice old classic car, and I like the old classic cars in the game. I do like the new cars, but I just like these a little bit more. It performs good too. Okay, so we've got the Übermenschen Revolter next. Okay, would I recommend this car? Yeah, I would. I mean, I think this car is pretty ugly, but I would recommend this car because it actually performs pretty well. But yeah, other than that, I just think this car could be worth it because it performs well, but I think it's ugly. So yeah, it also has a nice sound to it too. Okay, so let's move on to Simeon's place. This is the Ardent, the Ocelot Ardent. Oh, that is sweet. Okay guys, I'm gonna stop it right here and I'm gonna tell you guys, this vehicle's not worth buying, but it is worth test driving, okay? You can cause some havoc if you want with this car, because you can actually use the weapons in this thing. I just wish this thing had more options like a jump boost. I feel like if this car had a jump boost, then it would be perfect. Remember, this is the Ocelot Ardent. Not the best car, but definitely not the worst. Okay, we're going to move on to this next vehicle here, which is the Vapid Kuel. I really don't know if that's pronounced right. Okay, so since we're driving in snow, I would say this car could be worth buying because this car is a bit slippery in the snow, but When it's not snowing, it's not that bad. But, yeah, I would say buy it only because I like the old classic looking cars. I just think they look really cool, and that would be the only reason I could think of. Otherwise, maybe don't buy it at all. If you don't like the classic cars, then don't buy it. It sounds great. It would probably perform really good. Just don't buy it if you don't like the look of it. Okay, moving on to the Ocelot Stromberg. I could already say buy it because it's a nice car, but yeah. The Toreador is so much better than this though. So if you're gonna get anything, get the Toreador. But if you can't get that, then this is the best alternative. I wonder if you could use the water feature on this car. You can. Okay. So if you want to test drive this car, you can. Does this thing have the missile system? Oh, it has the missile system. Okay, this car's worth testing. This car's so worth testing. Okay, this car looks... Okay, I can tell you guys a lot about this car while we're driving it, okay? So this car has really good machine guns. It actually takes out cars pretty easily. Now, I'm not going to talk at this one, so I'm just going to show you on this ruiner here. Let me show you. See? Already gone. And the missiles are just as good. They're kind of like buzzard missiles, but... yeah. I would recommend this car. I'm not even going to worry about driving this thing for too long. I think this car is worth buying. But there is a reason you'd want to buy it. This is a setup in the Casino Heist aggressive approach where it's super hard. You have to get the Vault explosives and you have to go underwater to get this. This vehicle just cuts like 90% of the work out of it. So I would recommend getting it for that main setup. But yeah. Let's move on to the next one. Now remember, if you can't get the Toreador, then get this, okay? If you think it's too expensive and you can't get this car to start with, and then move on to the Toreador when you can afford it, because this is a great alternative. Okay, so the next one I'm going to go for is the Maxwell Vagrant. Okay, so basically this car kind of just makes me think of that car right there, this car right here. Anyway, let's take this thing for a test drive. So I will not lie to you guys, this vehicle is kind of like an off-road car, so I'd only really recommend this if you're going to go off-road quite a bit. I wouldn't recommend it, but other than that, I wouldn't really recommend it because this thing doesn't really look that good in my opinion. I mean, I don't really like the open looks on cars like this. I mean, I do like the way it's performing. It does perform pretty well, but I just wouldn't recommend it because it just looks hideous in my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you guys like the look of this car? Because I don't. Let's just move on straight to the next one. There's really just certain points in this car where you'd want to buy it or not. The only reason you really want to buy this car is to go off-road, but other than that, I'd probably avoid this one. Okay, so the last one, I actually can't remember the name of this car, but it is the Pegassi Taurus. Let's take this one for a spin, and I'll tell you what I think you should buy if you could buy any of these things. It's quite a big car, and it's quite an unusual car to put in this thing. The others kind of make sense, but not this one, and maybe not the Maxwell Vagrant. Okay, so would I recommend this thing? Yeah, I could recommend this thing. It sounds great. It probably would perform well, but considering we're in snow, it's kind of hard to drive. But yeah, would I recommend it? Yeah, I probably would. It performs well, it looks great. Yeah, I'd recommend it. Let's move on to what I recommend you buy altogether. So let's start with these cars in here. So I would not recommend buying the Ocelot Ardent or this car right here. The others maybe you'd want to buy, but for specific reasons. You know what, I might as well throw this in there since I won the party vehicle already. But would I recommend that you try and win this car? Yeah, try and win it. It's a good off-road car. If you put off-road tires on it, it would work pretty well. So yeah, I'd recommend getting it. Okay, so any of these cars, do I recommend them? Definitely not the D-Class Drift Hamper. but I would probably recommend it for the Furnace Classic and maybe the Ubermensch Revolta. Those two cars, they're not too bad. The Ubermensch Revolta is ugly. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.